नमस्ते, हमेशा खुश रहो बिटिया। Myself, Dr. Gaurav Gupta, Assistant Professor, Department of Forensic Medicine and Toxicology, Faculty of Homeopathic Science, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. Today we are going to discuss a new topic, forensic psychiatry. So as you all know, forensic is a branch which deals with legal aspects, and psychiatry is a branch of medical science that deals with the knowledge of mental illness, diagnosis, and treatment. So, psychiatry is a sub branch, subdivision of medical science in which there is dealing with mental diseases, diagnosis of mental diseases, and treatment of mental diseases. And when it is combined with forensic psychiatry, it becomes forensic psychiatry, which is a division of forensic science that deals with the application of psychiatry knowledge in the administration of justice. So, here, knowledge of psychiatry, knowledge of mental diseases, their diagnosis, their treatment is used to deal or to provide the justice or to get the justice. It deals with the diseases of mind or the personality having derangement of the mental or emotional processes and impairment of behavioral control. So, forensic psychiatry is deals with diseases of mind or diseases having personality disorders, having derangements of mental level or emotional processes, or if there is any disturbance or impairment of behavior. Now, insanity. In medical, insanity is defined as the person who is not able to adjust according to the ordinary social requirements due to mental disease. So, insanity is a state of a person, is a mental state of a person in which a person cannot adjust or adopt according to the social requirements which are normal. But law has not defined insanity. So, insanity is defined only medically. In law, insanity is related with mental impairment and not mental illness. Forensic psychiatry helps in deciding the responsibility for crimes, sexual psychopathy, and other sexual perversions, competence in contract action, competence to testify, ability to give informed consent to treatment, competency to stand trial, testamentary capacity, and malingering, etc. So, some of the psychiatric conditions, first of them is delirium. Delirium is a condition where consciousness is disturbed, along with the impairment in orientation, and there is loss of critical faculty and thought becomes irrelevant or inconsistent. So, in the condition of delirium, the person is not fully conscious, he is not fully aware, he is not oriented, there is loss of critical faculties, mental perceptions, and he becomes uh, talkative, and his talks are irrelevant or inconsistent. So, in the early stage, the patient becomes restless, uneasy, and sleepless. Then, after there is complete loss of self control, he becomes excited and talks furiously. Delusions and sometimes hallucination are also associated with delirium. Usually, delirium is present with a physical disease where there is continuous high fever or high temperature, or it is due to overwork, mental stress, or due to drug intoxication or under the effect of a drug. A person become impulsive, and violent, and he may commit suicide. So any criminal act attempted during the period of delirium is not considered as criminal act. Delusions. So delusion is an idiosyncratic belief or impression maintained despite being contradicted by reality or rational argument. Basically, delusion is a false belief, a belief which is not true, but it cannot be rectified, it cannot be corrected even after giving rational argument, logical argument, or even after showing the reality. Person doesn't want to believe the truth, but he just believe in his belief. It is under the control of emotion but not rational forces. Some diseases have delusion as symptoms, such like epileptic, affective, and schizophrenic psychosis. So there are different types of delusion. Delusion of grandeur or exaltation. In delusion of grandeur, person imagines that he is a very rich person. He has money, property, land. He is very rich. But in the reality, he is poor. He doesn't have all that things, but he don't want to believe that thing. He just believes that he is very rich. Second is delusion of persecution. In the delusion of persecution, the person affected imagines that someone is behind him, someone wants to poison him, or his close relatives like his wife, son, or parents. And it is usually present in paranoid schizophrenia, dementia, and depression. Delusion of reference. In the delusion of reference, person believes that every people, everything, every event is related to him, is about him. If anyone is talking, then he thinks he is talking about him. He thinks that everyone is observing him, or if any stranger is passing by, he is looking at him, or every person is talking about him. So this is the delusion of reference. Next is delusion of infidelity. In the delusion of infidelity, person imagines that his wife is not trustworthy, she is unfaithful, she is ditching him, but it is not true. She is loyal, although he believes that he is not loyal to him. She is not loyal to him. Delusion of influence. Usually, this delusion is common in schizophrenia condition, where the person believes that his thoughts, feelings, and actions are being influenced and controlled by some outside agency. Some other person, some power is controlling his thoughts, his feelings, and his actions. Delusion of self reproach. The person in this delusion, the person blames himself for the past failure and misdeeds. So, if he has done anything which was not right, or any he did anything wrong, he blames himself for that event which happened in past. Although that may not be important, but he blames for that very much. Hypochondriacal, the person that he has some disease. The person thinks that he has some disease, but he is healthy. That is, although he is very healthy, he doesn't have any problem. He doesn't have any disease, but he thinks or he believes that he has some disease. He has some pathological changes. He is not well. So, what is the medical legal importance of delusion? Delusion is an indication of deep-seated disorder because delusion is just a symptom and it just reflects a part of the picture of disease. There is some deep-seated disease in the person. Such person is not fully responsible for his acts, and suicide is very common issue in case of delusion. Erotomania. Erotomania. So erotomania is a delusion also, and in this delusion the person believes that someone is deeply in love with him or her. This delusion develops and persists despite clear evidence to the contrary. So in this delusion the person believes that the opposite person loves him, he is deeply in love with him, he wants him, and this delusion persists even after clear evidence that the person is not interested in him. Even then he believes that he is in love with him. Person develops an obsession and believes that the other person is responding. The erotomaniac tries to get close with the person through telephone calls, letters, gifts, visits, etc. So the person affected with erotomania tries to get close or try to get to meet the person through letters, gifts, visits, or he try to contact using telephone calls or letters. This session is powered by digital version 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. Hope you are satisfied with my digital session. If you have any query, please mention in comment box. I will resolve it. Thank you.